Think about this. What if the best healing foods on Earth weren't actually discovered by modern scientists in labs, but were actually the main daily fuel for the healthiest humans who walked the Earth thousands of years ago? Most folks never realize that while we are counting every calorie and chasing the latest diet trends, the Bible was already listing specific superplants that scientists now prove can actually stop scary diseases. These items slash inflammation and fix your body deep down. They are way more than just old symbols. We're talking about massive nutritional powerhouses that are backed by solid clinical research and real-world results. Today I'm showing you 20 specific items that will totally change the way you eat and recover. Stay tuned, because number 13 was so rare and valuable that kings actually traded it like cold cash. Experts call it a top-tier superfood now. Plus number 20 was once known as a heavenly gift. Doctors are shocked by how it handles bad cells. Click subscribe now so you don't miss these secrets. Let's dive in. Here are 20 ancient superfoods to heal you, ranked from amazing to totally life-changing. Starting with number 1, olive oil, which was known as the liquid gold of the ancient world. Let's start here. It's not just first on our list, it was the literal foundation of life back then. It served as food fuel and medicine. Ancient books mention this oil over 140 times. It blessed royalty and patched up injuries. People used it with wine to treat deep cuts and sores. That was not a fluke, it was real medicine. Now let's look at what the latest science says. Pure extra virgin olive oil is actually one of the most tested and researched foods on the planet. The famous Mediterranean diet relies on it to help lower the risk of heart problems in many trials. It also fights off inflammation, brain fog, and helps you live a much longer, healthier life overall. The secret is a compound called oleocanthal. It works just like store-bought pain meds to kill swelling. But remember, the old stuff wasn't the over-processed heated oil you usually find at the grocery store. Fresh, cold-pressed oil is a living food packed with vitamins and the very best healthy fats. Your body loves it. For a quick boost, try taking 1 single tablespoon of the good stuff every day. Cook with it often or rub it on your skin to heal. Ancient people didn't need pills or supplements. They used it on everything. Number 2 is raw honey, nature's best germ killer, mentioned in old songs. Old proverbs say it is good for you. One story even claims it made a man's vision clear instantly. Throughout history, honey has been shown to provide instant energy, mental clarity, and a better life. Pure honey is a top-tier germ fighter. Tests show it can even kill bacteria that modern drugs can't. It stops tough infections by creating a natural cleaning agent the moment it touches your skin. Its unique acidity wipes out germs, while a special protein inside works to actively destroy harmful bacteria. Hospitals today even use a specific type called Manuka honey to help heal serious wounds on patients. The big secret is keeping it raw. If you heat it up too much, you kill the healing power. Heat ruins the medicine inside. Our ancestors ate it straight from the hive, totally fresh and full of life. That cloudy, unheated honey is way different and better than the clear stuff sitting on supermarket shelves. Using it is easy. Just dab some on a cut to stop infection and make it heal faster. Swallow a spoonful for a scratchy throat or mix it with lemon water to boost your immune system. Unlike white sugar, raw honey won't spike your blood sugar as hard because of its natural makeup. This stuff fueled soldiers and travelers for hundreds of years. Plus, it never ever goes bad or spoils. Experts found 3,000-year-old honey that was still good to eat. Start your health journey here. It is a sweet miracle that was healing people way before we even understood how it actually worked. Number 3 is figs, the healing fruit of the prophets. Most people totally overlook this tiny detail. When an ancient king was dying from a nasty skin infection, his doctor did more than just pray. He used a mash of squashed figs right on the wound, and the king actually got better fast. Today's science confirms this works. Figs have special enzymes that help your skin repair itself much quicker. They are also packed with natural ingredients that have been proven to kill germs and keep you safe. Did you know that fresh fig sap actually fights off germs and speeds up skin healing? But wait, these tasty fruits do way more than just fix boo-boos. They are packed with tons of soluble fiber, specifically pectin, which acts like a superfood for the beneficial bacteria living deep inside your gut. Loaded with magnesium, potassium, calcium, and essential B vitamins, figs are easily one of the most mineral-dense treats you can grab for a healthy snack. Long before fancy multivitamins existed, people turned to figs as their daily supplement, eating them fresh and perfectly ripe straight from the sun-drenched trees. They ate them for better digestion and a natural energy boost while keeping dried figs handy all year for steady, reliable nutrition whenever needed. Even that old-school trick of mashing figs onto irritated skin deserves a closer look today. Next up at number 4, we have the mighty dates. Meet history's very first energy bar. Whether you were a soldier or a traveler, trekking across the desert, dates were the secret to staying alive. They are high in calories, stay fresh forever, and are full of minerals and quick sugars, making them the ultimate survival food for any long journey. Believe it or not, the date palm gets more shout-outs in ancient holy books than every other fruit tree on the planet combined. That is impressive. This tree was not famous just because it looked pretty. It was legendary because it literally kept entire populations fed and thriving during the toughest times. Dates are full of natural glucose and fructose that hit your bloodstream fast, giving you a nearly instant energy kick whenever you start feeling tired. But here is the best part. Unlike white sugar, dates come with fiber, magnesium, potassium, and vitamins that help your body process that energy better. Science shows dates can boost your iron, keep your bones strong, and even help make the labor process a little bit easier for pregnant women out there. In fact, several studies found that mums-to-be who ate dates in those final weeks actually experienced much faster and smoother deliveries when the big day arrived. Dates are also bursting with antioxidants that fight off inflammation and keep your cells safe from the daily stress that can wear your body down. They even have special tannins that fight germs and ancient doctors used to grind up the pits for medicine. Talk about a zero-waste garden superfood. Using them is so simple it is almost funny. All you have to do is eat them, no complicated recipes or prep work required for this snack. Just 3 to 5 dates give you a quick energy hit, act as a healthy sweetener for your cooking, or provide the perfect way to break a fast. There is a big reason people break their fasts with dates. They are super gentle on the stomach and absorb quickly. Now, moving on to number 5. Pomegranates are the absolute king of antioxidants. These vibrant fruits have been featured in ancient laws and beautiful poetry for thousands of years as symbols of health. They represent life and abundance. Just imagine there were 200 individual pomegranates carved right into the massive pillars of King Solomon's famous ancient temple. This was way more than just a decoration. It was a huge statement about the fruit's power. Today, modern science is totally obsessed with its healing potential. Pomegranates have a rare compound called punicalagin that you cannot find anywhere else, which turns into special health boosters once it reaches your gut. These unique compounds are showing some really incredible results in research for fighting off inflammation and might even help protect the body against certain cancers. Tests show that drinking pomegranate juice can help lower your blood pressure, clean up your arteries, and significantly drop those pesky inflammation markers in your blood. The juice and seeds are so packed with polyphenols that they actually beat out green tea, red wine, and even blueberries in terms of pure antioxidant power. Here is a secret. The tough outer rind that most people just throw away is actually where the most powerful medicine is hidden in the fruit. Ancient healers used to brew a tea from that rind to fix stomach issues, get rid of nasty parasites, and calm down painful gut inflammation naturally. Back in the day, people would munch on the fresh seeds, sip the raw juice, or save that dried rind to make a healing tea for later. All you had to do was soak the dried peel in hot water to create a powerful natural remedy for helping clear up any stubborn gut infections. Using the whole fruit gives you the full range of benefits exactly how nature intended, rather than just taking a processed supplement or a basic extract. Sure, pomegranates take a bit longer to eat since getting those jewel-like seeds out of the shell takes some real work and a little bit of patience. But maybe taking your time is actually part of the point. Some of the best things in life are worth the extra effort to get them. In the old world, the best things took work, and this fruit rewards you with health benefits that scientists are still trying to fully figure out. 6. Lentils are the go-to meal for everyone, from prophets to the poor. There is even a famous story in history that warns us about how valuable they are. One man actually traded his entire inheritance for just one bowl of lentil stew. That sounds crazy, but lentils were way more than just cheap peasant food. They were the ultimate survival food, incredibly filling. They stay good for years when dried, and they are absolutely packed with every single nutrient your body needs. Lentils are a total protein powerhouse for plants, giving you about 18 grams in just one single cup. That is a massive boost for your daily diet. With tons of iron, folate, and zinc, These little beans were the fuel of choice for soldiers, hard laborers, and even famous prophets throughout history's timeline. They gave people exactly what a hard day's work required, like steady energy to keep going, muscle repair, and a way to refill all those lost minerals. Today, health experts confirm that lentils have a really low impact on GA8 impact on your blood sugar, despite being a great source of energy to get you through. This means you get steady energy without those annoying blood sugar spikes, while the high fiber keeps your gut happy and helps naturally lower your cholesterol. Research actually shows that eating beans and lentils regularly is one of the best ways to predict if someone will stay healthy as they get older. When looking at the world's longest living communities, scientists found that these people almost always eat a huge amount of legumes, like lentils, as a daily staple. The classic way to make them involves soaking slow cooking with tasty herbs like cumin and coriander and finishing it off with a nice drizzle of olive oil. This goes way beyond just a simple old-fashioned kitchen habit. When you soak and boil your lentils, you strip away pesky anti-nutrients, letting your body absorb every single healthy mineral much more effectively than ever before. Number 7 is barley, the simple grain that survived history. It is not fancy at all. It was just basic fuel for struggling families, weary soldiers, and sailors. Remember when Jesus fed 5,000 people with just fish and bread in John chapter 6? Well, those specific loaves were actually baked from hearty, low-maintenance barley flour. While barley was once seen as common as food, it turns out those folks were eating what we now know is the absolute best grain for a healthy gut. This super grain is packed with a much higher concentration of beta-glucan than almost any other plant you can grow in your backyard garden today. That is a special fiber that works so well at fixing your cholesterol and balancing sugar levels that even the government officially recognizes its powerful health benefits. Inside your belly, it creates a thick gel that blocks bad cholesterol, keeps your sugar steady, feeds your good gut bugs, and jumpstarts your whole immune system. Plus, barley has a way lower glycemic index than the typical white rice or wheat flour you usually find in the grocery store or your pantry. You get steady energy all day long without that afternoon slump. Experts say it actually works even better than oatmeal for keeping your heart in tip-top shape. It is incredible for managing blood sugar after you eat. Since it is super cheap and grows literally anywhere, this is basically a miracle food for any gardener. Back in the day, the preparation was easy. People just boiled it into a warm porridge or ground it up to bake some very simple rustic flat bread. You usually see pearled barley at the store now, which has had the tough, fibrous outer shell of the grain completely stripped away for much faster cooking. However, keeping that hull on means way more fiber for you. But honestly, even the pearled kind is still one of the absolute healthiest carbs you can eat. Number 8. Let us talk about ancient grains like einkorn and emmer. This definitely is not the same wheat you find in the grocery store bread aisle today. This is the big secret that changes everything. When ancient books mention wheat, they are not talking about the mass-produced stuff that goes into every box of crackers. They are referring to original heirloom seeds like einkorn, which are totally different on a deep genetic level than the common plants we see in the fields. These ancient types have a completely different structure and way more nutrients than the tiny dwarf wheat used for most of our modern breads and pastas. Scientists created modern wheat back in the middle of the 20th century just to grow as much as possible. While they succeeded, we lost something vital. During that process, the gluten inside the grain changed into something that many of our bodies really struggle to handle or digest properly in the modern world. It became packed with starch but lost vital minerals. Get this, einkorn only has 14 chromosomes, while the wheat we eat now has a staggering 42. Because its gluten is shaped differently, many people who usually feel sick from eating bread can actually eat this ancient grain without having any health issues. It is loaded with extra protein, vitamins, and antioxidants that help keep your eyes and your skin looking great while you spend time working outdoors. Research proves that your body digests einkorn slowly so you won't get a sugar rush. Plus, it is overflowing with way more disease-fighting antioxidants than modern crops. Since it was never engineered to be super stretchy, like modern dough, the flour behaves a bit differently when you are finally working with it in your kitchen. You will get a thick, heavy loaf that is incredibly good for you. In the past, everyone used slow fermenting sourdough methods to prepare it the right way. That long fermentation process dissolves the tough gluten and phytic acid, making the bread much easier on your stomach and letting your body soak up the minerals. Real ancient bread looked nothing like a fluffy white slice from the store. It was heavy, dark, and packed with every healthy bit of the grain. You can still buy Einkorn flour online today. It costs a bit more, but if regular bread makes you feel bloated, this might be exactly what your body needs. The original grains mentioned in history were never the reason people were getting sick. The real problem is just what we have done to the food. Number 9 is grapes. From the garden vine straight to your health, this plant is mentioned more than almost anything else in all of the old stories. It is a symbol of life itself. In fact, planting a vineyard was the very first thing Noah did once the floodwaters finally went down after the storm. You will see grapes at every important feast and in almost every story told about farming growth and nature throughout the long history of human life. Growing vines was the heart of survival for ancient people. And as it turns out, there is a huge scientific reason why they loved them so much. Whether you eat them fresh or dried, grapes are bursting with powerful compounds like Resveratrol and quercetin that help protect all of your body's cells from damage. These special plant nutrients are famous for keeping your heart strong, fighting off painful inflammation, and even helping you live a much longer and healthier life. That resveratrol actually flips a biological switch in your body to repair your cells and help keep you feeling young and full of energy. It has been the hottest topic in health research for over 20 years. Just remember, the biggest benefits are actually tucked away inside the skins and the seeds. Munching on fresh grapes with the skin on gives you a massive dose of fiber, potassium, and vitamins that your body absolutely loves to have every day. Now, raisins are like little mineral powerhouses, though they do lose some nutrients during drying. Both versions are great to keep in your garden snack bin. Long ago, people would feast on juicy fresh grapes as soon as they ripened right off the vine during the peak of the warm growing season. They also kept raisins handy all year long for a quick portable energy boost during long travels or busy days working out in the garden fields. They even used the leaves to wrap food or treat, swelling, a clever trick that Mediterranean cooks still use in their busy kitchens to this very day. Number 10. Let us talk about wine as an old-school medicine. We have to be smart here because ancient texts do not just give everyone a pass. While there are plenty of warnings about overdoing it, using a small amount of wine was often seen as a powerful way to help heal the body. Try using a little wine for your gut health. In 1 Timothy 5:23, Paul tells Timothy it is great for the stomach, and even the Good Samaritan used it as an antiseptic for wounds. This was not just a metaphor either. Back then, they usually watered down their wine, and it turns out that specific mixture has some pretty amazing natural powers to kill off bad germs. Modern studies prove that wine at moderate levels can wipe out scary stomach bugs like E. coli and Salmonella even more effectively than using straight alcohol. It is a total game changer for health. In a world before we had modern water filters, mixing a tiny bit of wine into your drinking water was a super smart way to stay protected from getting sick. It acted like a shield. Plus, red wine is packed with incredible plant compounds from the grape skins like resveratrol, which researchers are absolutely obsessed with these days for staying young and heart healthy. These compounds have been the subject of heart research for decades. You have probably heard of the French paradox where people stay healthy despite eating a diet full of rich, heavy foods. That health secret is often linked to drinking red wine. Real medical studies show that having just a moderate amount can do some pretty impressive things for your overall blood flow and heart. It helps boost your good cholesterol and keeps your blood flowing smoothly without clotting. But remember, the most important part of this entire health tip is keeping it in moderation. We are talking about just one small glass of high-quality red wine with a meal, all within the context of a healthy diet made of whole, natural and unprocessed foods. That is exactly how people drank in the ancient world. They watered it down and shared it over a meal with their community as a normal, healthy part of their daily life. This traditional approach is a world away from what modern alcohol culture looks like today. It was about health and connection, not just a way to party or blow off steam. This is one of those unique foods where how and when you drink it matters just as much as the drink itself. The actual context really changes everything for your body. If you follow the Bible's advice and use it sparingly as a medicine, it is a health win. But if you get careless, it definitely does not belong on this list at all. Let me pause for a second because I get this question all the time. This sounds great, but where do I actually find these pure, natural ingredients for my own kitchen and garden? You want the authentic versions, not the cheap processed stuff at the supermarket. That is the perfect question to ask, and it matters more for your health than most people realize. Here is the real problem. A lot of what is sold as healthy food today is nothing like the pure ingredients the Bible was actually talking about in those ancient times. Most of those olive oils at the store are actually mixed with low-quality seed oils, and they skip the cold pressing process that keeps all the healthy nutrients locked inside the bottle. And most honey is heated and filtered until all the healing enzymes are totally gone. At that point, you are basically just buying a bottle of overpriced sugary sweet syrup. If you want to grow these ancient foods yourself, finding real heirloom seeds at a big box garden center is nearly impossible. So I did all the heavy lifting and research for you. I tracked down the suppliers I actually trust and use, and I put all the links right in the description below this video to make things easy for your next garden project. Now let's get back to our countdown, because these next items are going to absolutely surprise you. Coming in at number 11 on our list is simple fresh fish. Think of it as the omega-3 covenant. Fish are featured everywhere in the Gospels. The disciples were fishermen, and those famous miraculous feedings involved baskets of fresh local fish. Jesus even ate a piece of fish after the resurrection, just to prove he was physically there. That definitely was not just a random coincidence or a minor detail in the story. In the coastal culture of first-century Israel, fish was the main source of protein for almost everyone. It was a daily staple that kept the entire community strong and healthy. It turns out that eating all that fish might be the smartest dietary choice ever made. We are talking about fatty fish like sardines and those tiny nutrient-dense anchovies. The tilapia from the Sea of Galilee are some of the richest sources of omega-3 fatty acids on the planet, specifically those essential nutrients known as EPA and DHA. Your body cannot make these healthy fats on its own, so they must come from food. DHA is especially vital because it builds a huge portion of your brain cell membranes. Then you have EPA, which has powerful effects against inflammation. The science backing up these omega-3s is some of the strongest and most consistent in all of nutritional research. Eating fish regularly is linked to much lower rates of heart disease, depression, and memory loss. It helps you fight off inflammation and basically helps you live a much longer life. People in Mediterranean coastal towns and Japanese fishing villages consistently live longer and stay healthier than people living inland. Their fish-heavy diet is the reason why they thrive. In the biblical world, people ate the fish whole, usually just grilled simply over a charcoal fire. That is exactly how Jesus prepared a fresh breakfast in the book of John. There was no heavy breading, no processing, and definitely no frying in cheap seed oils that would normally destroy all those precious omega-3 fats your body needs so badly. All the good nutrition was preserved because the cooking was so simple. Today, modern health experts recommend eating 2 or 3 servings of fatty fish every week to stay healthy. The people in the Gospels ate it because it was what they had available. It just so happens they were eating one of the most powerful health-promoting foods on the planet. Sometimes the simplest, most basic diets are actually the smartest ones you can follow. Moving on to number 12, goat's milk. Think of it as the ultimate probiotic. When the Bible mentions a land flowing with milk and honey, it was not talking about the processed fortified cow's milk you see today. It was something much more natural. It was flowing with fresh goat's milk. This is a totally different kind of food that your stomach processes in a completely different way than standard cow's milk from the store. Goat's milk has much smaller fat particles and a unique protein structure. This makes it a whole lot easier on your digestive system than the proteins found in commercial cow's milk. The main protein in goat's milk is A2 casein. This is a huge deal because it is different from the A1 casein found in almost all the cow's milk sold today. Many health researchers now believe that this specific A2 protein is much better tolerated by our digestion, meaning less bloating and discomfort for you after you drink it. The fat in goat's milk is naturally mixed in, so it does not separate. This means it does not need any of that harsh industrial processing or homogenization to stay creamy. Plus, traditionally produced goat's milk is absolutely loaded with healthy bacteria. These are natural probiotics that support your gut health and keep your internal system running smoothly every day. Scientific studies show that goat's milk is way easier to digest for people who usually struggle with regular cow's milk. It is a much gentler option for your stomach. It causes much less inflammation in your gut lining and even provides a prebiotic effect. That means it is actually feeding the good bacteria already living inside your body. This helps support a thriving community of beneficial gut flora, giving your overall health a massive boost with every single glass of milk you decide to enjoy. Your body absorbs its minerals like calcium and magnesium way faster than most other foods. It is packed with special healthy fats like caproic acid that naturally fight off nasty germs and fungus. Ancient cultures loved using goat milk for everything, whether drinking it fresh, making tangy yogurt, or aging it into tasty cheese. Every version has a secret perk. Fresh milk gives instant energy, fermented drinks, boost gut health, and cheese packs a mineral punch. Big factory farms ignored goat milk because cows make way more, even though goats are much easier for home gardeners to manage. If your stomach struggles with regular dairy or feels slow and bloated, this legendary ancient superfood might be your perfect solution. It could be the missing piece for your health. Now let's look at number 13, Hyssop, the ultimate deep cleaning herb. We finally reached number 13, the big one. This famous plant was the go-to choice for ancient cleansing rituals in the Bible. Even the Book of Psalms mentions it asking for a deep hyssop wash to get totally clean and pure. It even shows up in history's most famous moments, like when a hyssop branch was used during the very last hours of Jesus. People thought this was just a symbolic plant for ages until scientists took a closer look and found some truly incredible physical powers. This plant is loaded with carvacrol and thymol, the exact same germ-fighting punch you find in strong herbs like oregano and thyme. These are world-class natural cleaners, and modern tests prove that hyssop can actually kill off bacteria, viruses, and even tough mold. Science shows it can stop certain viruses in their tracks, while its natural ingredients help clear out stubborn gunk from your chest. It also fights swelling and pain, which is exactly why ancient healers used it for lung issues and healing up skin cuts. Once you know the science, those old cleaning rituals actually make total sense. Using this plant to scrub down your home was genius. When they used it after an illness, they weren't just being religious, they were actually using a powerful, natural germ-killing spray. These ancient rules were super practical because they actually worked. You can brew a simple tea to help soothe bad coughs and congestion. You can also use it as a skin cleaner or toss the fresh leaves into your cooking for a nice herby flavor like thyme. It has a bold, slightly bitter kick, which is usually a great sign that the herb is packed with strong healing medicine inside. Most modern doctors forgot about hyssop, thinking it was just a pretty garden flower from the Bible, but the data says otherwise. This tiny plant was a heavy hitter in the past and still is today. Next up is number 14, cumin, a favorite of Jesus. Cumin is the only spice here that Jesus actually talked about. In the book of Matthew, he used it to make a big point. He noticed people were so obsessed with counting out every tiny seed of mint and cumin that they forgot how to be kind. Giving a portion of your cumin away shows just how precious it was back then. You only gave away things that were truly valuable. For over 4,000 years, people across the globe have relied on this spice for more than just flavor. It was a medicine cabinet staple. It helps with your stomach, keeps sugar levels steady, and fights germs. Modern science is finally proving that these ancient healers were right. Inside, every seed is a compound called cuminaldehyde, which acts like a tiny shield against all sorts of bad bacteria and annoying fungus. Research proves that cumin can actually help lower your blood sugar levels and make your body way more efficient at processing energy naturally. It kicks your digestion into high gear, which means less bloating for you and way more vitamins absorbed from every single meal you eat. Plus, it's a total iron powerhouse. Just 3 grams gives you 20% of what your body needs to stay energized all day long. The coolest part, new studies suggest it might even help protect your brain's memory and could potentially help the body fight off scary diseases. Our ancestors used it because they felt it worked, and now scientists are checking under the hood to show us exactly why it's so effective. Try adding some to your dinner, toasting the seeds for a crunchy snack, or sipping it as a tea whenever your stomach feels off. Back in biblical times, this was your food and your pharmacy all in one. It's no wonder Jesus chose it to teach an important lesson. Back then, your tiny backyard garden was basically a life-saving hospital. Now for number 15, coriander, the secret detox herb hiding in your kitchen. When the miracle food manna appeared in the desert, the Bible described it as looking exactly like small white coriander seeds. No matter how you look at it, this seed is linked to the most amazing food story ever told, which makes it pretty special for gardeners. That's a pretty big deal. This seed, which actually comes from the cilantro plant, has been used for healing for thousands and thousands of years. From Egypt to Israel, everyone used it. They even found a stash of these seeds hidden inside King Tut's famous golden tomb. Old school doctors prescribed it to fix upset stomachs, calm down jittery nerves, and stop the pain caused by swelling or inflammation. Recent science confirms it's a natural relaxer. Tests have shown that these seeds can significantly lower stress levels and help the mind stay calm. In some tests, it worked as well as pharmacy meds. It's packed with natural stuff like linalool that keeps your body from feeling sore. It kills germs effectively, but the coolest thing is how it might help pull toxic heavy metals right out of your body's system. It is great at fighting bacteria, and scientists are now using it to help clean out dangerous metals that get stuck in our bodies. Early research hints that cilantro and coriander might actually pull mercury and other toxic heavy metals right out of your body. Science definitely supports its many digestive health benefits. People have used coriander seed tea for centuries to stop embarrassing gas, painful bloating, and those annoying stomach cramps. Research confirms it calms gut spasms and aids digestion, while traditional cooks always added ground seeds to breads and hearty stews. Spice blends, coriander teas for upset stomachs, and fresh cilantro were used as functional medicine foods to keep the body healthy. This herb was found everywhere in ancient biblical meals for the exact same reasons it dominates traditional cooking styles today. It boosted flavor and improved digestion. Next up, at number 16, garlic, the legendary food that the ancient Israelites missed. You will find that this is easily one of the most intense and emotional mentions of food in the entire Bible. While wandering the desert and eating only manna, the people actually broke down weeping because they missed their fresh garlic. Numbers 11:5 says they missed the freefish cucumbers, melons, leeks, onions, and especially that pungent, flavorful Egyptian garlic. They literally wept for garlic, and once you see the science behind its power, their deep grief makes perfect scientific sense. When it comes to natural medicine, garlic is one of the most thoroughly researched and proven superfoods on the entire planet. Allicin is the magic compound born when you crush garlic, acting as a heavy-duty shield against all types of harmful germs. This powerhouse plant goes to war against bacteria, viruses, fungi, and parasites. Real medical trials prove that eating garlic regularly can stop you from getting sick and make colds and flus milder. Multiple studies show it drops blood pressure, lowers cholesterol, prevents blood clots, and even keeps your liver safe from damage. Freshly crushed raw garlic packs the biggest punch because the healing allicin actually starts to break down when you apply heat. Ancient doctors throughout the Mediterranean used garlic in every way imaginable, from raw salad dressings to powerful, long-lasting medicinal preserves. They stewed it, infused it in oils, and ancient Egyptian records show it was used in over 20 different medical recipes. Number 17. Onions. These gut-healing prebiotic kings sit right next to garlic in that famous list from the Book of Numbers. In the ancient world, everyone from the poorest workers to the richest kings relied on onions as a daily food staple. Did you know the laborers building the massive pyramids were actually paid for their hard work with batches of onions and garlic? Even mighty pharaohs were buried with onions, and modern science finally explains exactly why they were considered so valuable back then. Onions are loaded with quercetin, a super antioxidant that fights inflammation and keeps your body's cells protected from daily wear and tear. Tests show that quercetin can lower your blood pressure, shut down inflammation, and might even help stop those annoying seasonal allergies. You might not know that onions are also packed with special fibers called inulin-type fructans that your body absolutely loves. These prebiotic fibers act like superfood for the good bacteria in your gut, specifically helping your healthy probiotic strains grow strong. Long before we knew about the microbiome, ancient people were naturally eating a diet that kept their gut bacteria happy and healthy. Garlic, onions, and leeks are all prebiotic-rich members of the allium family that people used to eat every single day. This style of eating created a balanced gut environment that worked exactly the way nature originally intended for it to function. The natural sulfur in onions actually helps your liver work better, making it easier for your body to process and flush out toxins. For ages, people have rubbed raw onions on bug bites, burns, and chests to clear congestion, and research says it works. To get the most quercetin possible, old-school traditions suggest eating your onions raw in fresh salads or crunchy homemade pickles. They added onions to everything for taste and fiber, even using warm onion broth to help people recover from sickness. Those people crying for Egyptian onions weren't just being dramatic, they knew exactly what they were missing. Next, number 18, almonds. Moses was actually instructed to design the sacred menorah with delicate cups that looked exactly like the beautiful blossoms of an almond tree. The almond tree represents being alert because it is the very first plant to wake up and blossom when spring finally arrives. As it turns out, choosing the almond as a symbol was actually a brilliant move backed by some seriously impressive nutritional science. Ounce-for-ounce almonds are some of the most nutrient-packed foods on the planet, especially when it comes to healthy vitamin E. Just one single ounce of these nuts gives you 37% of your daily vitamin E in its most powerful, natural form. This specific fat-soluble antioxidant works hard to shield your body's cell membranes from being damaged by oxidation. They are loaded with magnesium, a vital mineral that helps run over 300 different chemical reactions inside your body every day. Most people today are low on magnesium, but almonds provide that, plus healthy fats, protein, calcium, and plenty of digestive fiber. Your body uses these nutrients incredibly well, and clinical tests prove that snacking on almonds regularly can help lower your cholesterol. Almonds boost your gut health and help manage your weight because your body absorbs fewer calories from their fats than once thought. Thanks to their tough cell walls, some fats feed your good gut bacteria instead of just being stored as body fat. Historically, people kept things simple, eating raw or lightly roasted almonds as a nutritious and crunchy daily staple. They used almond paste for cooking and medicine while applying pressed almond oil to heal skin and treat various wounds. The ancients found a nearly perfect food and built sacred temples around its flowers. Number 19, the pistachio, known as the Nut of Patriarchs. When Jacob sent his sons to buy grain during a famine, he made sure they brought the most impressive gifts to win over the Egyptian leaders. And pistachios made the cut right there in Genesis chapter 43, verse 11. If Jacob used pistachios to impress a powerful Egyptian ruler, you know they were valuable. These definitely weren't just some cheap everyday snacks for anyone. They were a prized luxury treasure, and modern science proves they are worth it. Pistachios are incredibly high in eye-protecting nutrients like lutein and zeaxanthin. These powerful antioxidants are essential for eye health and protecting your vision as you get older. They pack more potassium than most other nuts, which helps keep your blood pressure levels healthy and stable. They have a perfect balance of amino acids for a plant, making them a fantastic way to get your daily protein fix. The coolest thing about pistachios is actually their high amount of prebiotic fiber. Research shows that eating